Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day and a fantastic week so far. And I wanted to pop on really quick and do a live because there's something that has been coming up that I've been seeing a lot of in terms of dating and in terms of relationships on social media and on advice profiles and on different situations like that. So, what I wanted to talk about today is the concept of playing hard to get and why that does not work. So, hard to get is basically something that came up from the idea of that push and pull between two people who are interested in either dating each other or where one partner is more interested than the other. And they go through a back and forth flip flopping of who's chasing, who's being pursued, and they keep switching and they keep going back. So, hard to get is a tactic that came up where one person acts disinterested and where they use certain tips and certain ways of acting to express that and to help the other person feel more interested and to make the other person want more of that, to want to hang out with them more, talk to them more. So, hard to get is something that is a very interesting concept, and it's definitely been around for a while. And hard to get, I'm here to tell you, does not work. Because when we are playing at anything, that's exactly what we're doing. We're playing. So when you're playing into a certain role and you're falling into certain patterns and behavior patterns, you are playing in a dynamic back and forth with another person where you're not going to be able to get out of that cycle or to jump out of that cycle once the facade is over. So when it comes to playing hard to get with someone that you want to get them more interested in you or you want them to be more responsive or more receptive to dating, to going out, to anything like that, then that dynamic of hard to get is something that's really challenging to talk about and something that's really challenging to break out of. Because once we're so used to doing that and getting attention from that, it's hard to break away from that and get attention from something else. A lot of the times we confuse attention for love or for affection. So the hard to get tactics will help you get someone's attention temporarily. It will help someone maybe text you back quicker, maybe ask you out on dates more consistently or accept your date proposals more consistently. And it will help basically move that person towards you, or draw that person towards you, but that ultimately is not sustainable. Because at the end of that cycle of playing hard to get, what are you left with? You're left with two people where one person was drawn into the other because of a facade. Because if you're not someone who is naturally a certain way and you force yourself to act that way in order to draw a partner to you or to get someone to be interested in you and wanting to date you or wanting to flirt with you, you're ultimately putting up a facade as to who you are to get that person to be interested in you. That doesn't work. That doesn't create sustainable, lasting love and a strong foundation for a successful future relationship. So when you're playing hard to get, ultimately you're sabotaging the foundation of what could potentially be a relationship because you are using subconscious manipulation tactics to get someone else to be interested in you. So that doesn't mean that you should be 100% available at literally every second for someone who you're interested in. The other way of interpreting hard to get is that you are just not 100% available for that person all the time. So, for example, you don't drop everything and go running to help someone that you're interested in dating, or you don't sacrifice your own activities or your own happiness to be there for that person until you've made that long-term commitment with that partner. So until you're at the stage where you and your partner are married, you are monogamous, you are in it for the long haul, you are creating a family unit together, at which point, yes, that drop everything and let me be there for you is entirely appropriate. Because when you're at that point that you're married to someone, you're in a long-term monogamous relationship with someone, you need that partner to have your back. You need that partner to be your 100. You need that partner to show up for you every single day. So until you're at that point, there's this idea of playing hard to get where you balance those energies and you keep yourself mysterious or you keep yourself unavailable, and that scarcity resource will somehow make you more attractive. But that doesn't sustain itself and that doesn't work. Because then when you're ready at the point in the relationship to transition into being more available with that person and to spending more time with that person, you're going to lose that dynamic. So if you start a relationship on the foundation of playing hard to get or making him chase after you, making her chase after you, making her text you back first, making him want more because you're so mysterious, whatever the dynamic is between the two people, If you're playing into that, you're not going to have a sustainable foundation for creating that relationship once you're ready to move into that step where you're no longer hard to get and you are available and you are ready to make that commitment to your partner of saying, I'm here for you, I'm your person. So ultimately, it's not about playing games, and it's not about tricking or deceiving anyone into thinking that you're mysterious or to thinking that you are unavailable. We operate out of a scarcity resource in our minds and in our brains for survival. So something that is perceived as more scarce is something that is therefore perceived as more desirable. That's the foundation of where playing hard to get comes from, because it does have some truth behind it. That if there is something that is more of a scarce resource and less of an available resource, it will automatically become more desirable. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to manipulate or trick anyone, consciously or subconsciously, into thinking of you as a scarce resource. Now, what is important is for you to maintain your schedule, maintain your lifestyle, maintain your friendships, maintain your priorities while you are courting someone or while you're dating someone or trying to date someone, because that means you're coming from a place of integrity and you're not going to play games or play hard to get in order to have someone think of you as a scarce resource. Now, what that also would mean too is that while you're maintaining that center of integrity, you're not straying or deviating from that in order to make yourself more of a scarce resource intentionally with the purpose of wanting someone to text you back quicker, to ask you out, to ask you to be their partner, or anything like that. So that's the difference between that. So when you're coming from a place of integrity, you might be a bit more of a scarce resource because you have so many other things going on. You have your job, you have your school, you have your family, you have your friends, you have your volunteer activities, you have whatever else you have going on, and you will still carve out time for that person that you're genuinely interested in. Now, that is totally different from waiting 24 hours before you text someone back, from ghosting every 2 or 3 days to make them want you more, from acting unavailable when you are literally available and telling someone, no, can't, I'm busy right now, which is not true because you're not busy, or you are relaxing and you would love to hang out, but you pretend you don't want to hang out because you want to be more of that scarce resource. So be mindful of internet tips and dating tips and anyone who suggests playing hard to get. Be mindful of taking that advice and using that in a way that actually serves you, and be mindful of the pros and cons of you playing into that game and of you playing hard to get versus being very direct and clear about what you're looking for versus defining your own goals first versus being someone who's dating from a place of integrity and honesty and saying, I'm not going to put on a facade to impress you or to act like I'm unavailable. I'm going to be authentic and I'm going to be who I am. And if we click and if we connect on that level, that's perfect, because that means that you're falling for me, not for the facade, not for the hard to get, not for the she's so mysterious, he's so mysterious, I just can't understand him, I want to know more. Not for any of that. That's them actually falling for you. That's a foundation for a stable and lasting relationship, and that's something that will carry you and propel you into the future. So be very aware of any advice that you receive from any relationship experts or gurus about playing hard to get, about making them chase you, about anything that deviates from your integrity. Because here, all you're going to get are things that come from a place of integrity, because it's not about BS and it's not about games. That will not get you the foundation for the relationship that you want. So there are plenty of resources that do have that online, and you will find them easily. But here, it's all about coming from your integrity and leading from that first. Because without that, there's nothing left. So, end rant. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your week, and catch me for more resources very soon.